is indeed why you see everywhere these demonstrations, and especially on campus, this unholy alliance of the Marxists and the Islamists. And you might think, what do they have in common? Well, their prime directive is identical. Namely, as you alluded to, Sheila, tearing down society and rebuilding it either as a Marxist utopia or a Sharia utopia, none of which has ever come to fruition.
Right.
And by the way, I want to say...
They'll fight it out amongst each other in the end, but first they'll destroy us.
That's right. So in the meantime, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, as they say in the Middle East.
For now.
And make no mistake, folks, those people that were surrounding Alexa, they were being vulgar. Yeah, they were being loud, but that is their right. I am telling you, without the security you could not see, they were off camera, they would have been violent. Over and over again, Alexa and Guillaume have been assaulted by the rank and file members of Antifa and the Rainbow Mafia. And even when there's a big police presence, like there was at the Pride Festival in Montreal, those worthless cops will turn a blind eye and a deaf ear. They do not enforce the law if the politics are not correct. The third clip we should throw to...
Hang on. Olivia informs me that we actually have a clip of Alexa explaining her interaction. And that other clip with the tape and stuff. I feel like I could smell that video. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is Alexa breaking it down for us. I love how she went in her like slightly progressive pride costume. Very, very good. Very good, Alexa.
So Alexa Lavoie here in Montreal for the 2025 Pride Parade. We just been attacked, me and my colleague Guillaume Roy, at the Wild Parade. This is another parade, another march that was organized in the same time that Fierté Montréal. Mainly because they say that the Fierté Montréal is not going enough far in their demands. So mainly that parade, that wild parade, was mainly against Israel and Zionists. Because I saw a lot of signs displaying death to the IDF. So it's supposed to be a hate speech here in Montreal, but the police didn't seem to care because no one have been asked so far to remove their signs. Also in the same time, at the Ring in Montreal, there is the Montreal for Palestine protest, weekly protest. As you know, they are openly pro-Hamas and anti-Israel. And so far, we didn't see anybody interrupting the parade from Fierté Montréal, but we are going to the village to interact with the people. And stay tuned for our full report.
Yeah, you know, I don't think that Hawaiian lei is going to work as cover, Sheila. Even when Alexa disguises herself, they somehow have a spidey sense to engage with violence. And I'm even talking using spray paint to shut her down and her camera.
Yeah, Antifa hates her. And so when she proposed this story, I'm going to go cover the Pride Parade and the collision of pride versus anti-Semitism, and the fact that Antifa was coming out, I thought, oh my goodness, both of these groups want to beat you up. So we got to get you some security. And thankfully they were there because you can see those people are twice Alexa's size. And I don't want her being accosted by naked people on the streets of Montreal wishing to do her harm. These are people who make apologies for what happened on October 7th. So they are the worst that humanity has to offer. They want to sexualize the elementary schools and make apologies for terror. They're the worst kind of people. Of course, we needed to have her protected out there.
But isn't it amazing, Sheila, that when we employ a couple of examples of, toxic masculinity, i.e. bodyguards, suddenly the mob, which still outnumbers our little group, they're not so brave anymore. They're not so prone to throwing haymakers. They're not so prone to taking out their spray paint. What a bunch of cowards. It is unbelievable. But anyways, that tells you all you need to know. about these people, like jackals and hyenas in a pack. They're very effective when it's solo, or when you have an equal number of good people or good animals striking back. Not so much.
Yeah, they want to fight a woman with one hand on a microphone and the other one on a camera. Like they're just the absolute worst kind of the dregs of humanity. Speaking of just human oddities, massive presence of puppy play. Goodness gracious!
Oh, puppies! Sheila, I love puppies.
No, you don't. And the furry community at the Montreal Pride Parade, as if this is reflective of your ordinary gay friends and neighbors who just mow their grass on the weekend and go to work and pay their taxes. I can understand why they don't want any part of this. Just remember, CJ was too offensive to these people. That in a diaper? There's the guy in a diaper, or girl in a diaper, guy in a diaper? I don't know.
Oh, my eyes.
At least this one is covered up. Am I pro-furry? Another guy in a diaper and a dog mask. A baby. Who brings their kids to this?
Yeah, I think we might have had our fill.
I'm good. I've seen all that I need to see. My heart is hardened after
Sheila,
seeing that.
I'm going to veer down another course after the last 3 minutes of observing these people. If this is presumably how they go through life, I really feel sorry for them. What do they do on October 31st? How do you dress up for Halloween when you're already a freak for the 365 days a year, wearing diapers, wearing puppy masks? I really feel bad for the guy in that full wolf costume. He must have been, or she, a real sweaty Betty. It looked like it was
He's
about
my favorite because he was covered up. He was my favorite. I don't care what people do in their private lives. Like, I just don't. I don't have it in me to care. I fundamentally disagree with it, but I just don't have it in me to care. I don't want you to care about what I do either. But it's when it's to the streets like this. And then when people drag children to it. And then when you excoriate politicians because they don't go to this sort of stuff. And you get angry at businesses a la Home Depot because they don't want to support this stuff with donations. That's when I don't care, but then they make me care. And that's what I find so exhausting and intrusive into my life.
And, you know, Sheila, to your point, and it's very valid, of those parents that will bring little kids to this, shame on them. These are unfit parents in my eyes. I can understand the appeal for a little child that doesn't know better. Oh, that's cool.
There's Bluey.
Exactly.
You got people dressed like Bluey.
Yeah.
Which is a very innocent, wholesome cartoon about a beautiful little blue heeler and his family. And then you see full-grown men dressed as dogs, and then people dressed as babies, and little kids love baby dolls. I can see how it crosses the wires a little bit on these youngsters, and I think that's what a lot of it is designed to do.
Yes.
And it is horrifying.
And slowly the line moves, Sheila. Our beloved colleague, Drea, was telling me when we were in Alaska, I had missed this story originally, but did you know that the minor attracted people, MAPS, otherwise known as, well, in basic English, pedophiles, they, a couple years ago, were pushing for an inclusion of their symbol, I don't know what that is, a lollipop maybe, to be part of the newest Pride Progress flag. Even for the super radical queers, that was a bridge too far. But what does that say? That says to me that this is the final frontier. They want recruitment, not only of straight people, but minors. And the idea that there's actually a community that has come up with a sanitized for your protection name for pedophilia, minor attracted person, or another word, Sheila, is intergenerational love. You know, if I'm a 49-year-old man and I'm in love with a 8-year-old girl or boy, and they're consensual with,
clipped.
this, who are we to complain? That's the argument here. And this kind of infantile behavior we see on the streets of Montreal, I think, is a direct marketing ploy, if you will, to attract minors. And there's stupid, woke parents out there that say, hey, this is a great idea. Let's bring little Janie and Johnny onto the Pride Parade route. Despicable.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people see their children as an extension of their own politics. And I guess to some extent I do too. I mean, my little Christian athletes who are, out in nature and taking care of their bodies and taking care of the land and giving thanks to the Creator for all of it. I guess my children are an extension of my politics too. However, my politics aren't explicitly anti-child. And I feel like their politics are. And it just, I don't know. I feel like we're dancing very close and possibly way over the line of what's acceptable on YouTube. So I think we have to rein it back in a little bit, especially using the P word. YouTube doesn't really care for that word. We've got let's just show really quick.
Sheila, and if I may say, I'll let, if Olivia maybe can, because I think this example of what we're going to throw to this Pride police cruiser, I think this is an example of sincerity is the biggest, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, given that the Toronto Police Service were way ahead of this. Maybe we can dig up Officer Chevalier driving the trans police cruiser, which gives transgenders a free ride. But please set up what we're about to see in terms of Hot Wheels.
It never ends. The trans pride at the Pride March in Montreal. What is that cop car going to catch, by the way? A cyclist? A cold?
An STD?
Prominently featuring the trans flag. But these people are also the same ones who are like, defund the police, defund the police. Yeah. So which, you know what, like, you're not going to please your enemies by going along with their anti-human ideology. I don't actually want the police to have any sort of opinion on anybody's sexuality before they apply the law. And this just leads me to believe that they're explicitly political.
Yeah, and again, it is a trend that needs to be snuffed out.